Hi there. Today I'm going to demonstrate to you how we can use Dr. eLearning's XLIFF AI translation feature to take your XLIFF file and convert to over more than 130 plus languages. And Dr. eLearning is using one of the top class translation engines that are available, ranging from DeepL to Google Translate to so many others. However, before we dwell into it, let's take the real case. So you may be working on an e-learning authoring tool like Captivate, Articulate, iSpring, or maybe you're working on some of those tools like Adobe FrameMaker, which give you XLIFF file as an output. Imagine that XLIFF file is in English, and you may want to convert that English to now Spanish. There are two standard options. One is that you could use manual translation, or you could go for an AI translation. But yes, both have their own pros and cons. For manual translation, you may see that currently they are more accurate, but one big downside is that it's going to take a lot of time and days and high cost. While AI translation does come with promises, which is it reduces a lot of your time. Things that were happening in days and weeks can happen in minutes and hours. And the cost is definitely much lesser. And accuracy is getting better day by day, though still a best model is wherein you use it for your first cut, very good translation, and then if you need to increase the quality, you go to for a manual translation team, where the manual translation team doesn't have to really translate the entire thing, but they can just go ahead and review the translation and fix here and there, so you end up having less cost for it. Step number one is that you go to drelearning.com and you sign in with your own ID. Once you log in, you will find a section to translate your project. You go there. Then you will press Upload Translation Project, and this will show you the screen where you will browse for your XLIFF file. Here is my XLIFF file. Now I can give it a project name. So for example, this was a performance management course. So performance management. And optionally, I can have the project link of the external project that I may have. I can put it over here. You can copy paste from whatever your source is. I'm just putting some dummy link here. Projectlink.com. Of course, you will put your actual authoring tools link over here. And after doing that, I can upload this project. Once you upload, you see very interesting statistics like what are your character counts and what are your word counts. So if you need that for certain purposes, it's available over here. And then you can just go ahead and start translating. So imagine I wanted to translate this to Spanish. I'll go down a long list here, and you can go down and select your language over here. So I plan to choose Spanish. It is over here. And then you may want to choose that the translation be very formal or informal. So the default option is automatic, but you may choose for a more formal or a less formal approach depending on your client situation or your audience. You can choose one of those. I will leave it at a default level, and then I'll press generate. And it will, as you can see, it will go ahead and start the activity of translation. And you need not wait, because the system will send you an email once your translation is done. Like in this case, the translation is done, and now I can just go ahead and download my translated file. The XML file has been translated. As you can see, here are the English version, and this is the translated Spanish version. You can look and enjoy the translation, edit it if you have to, and then you can re-import back in your authoring tool. That's where I learned the video. Reminder, drelearning.com, XLIFF AI translation. You have a good day.